Tonight, school districts can mandate masks be worn in school. That's the ruling handed down today by a circuit court judge.
The judge is agreeing with a group of parents who argued that the ban on the mandates is unconstitutional and cannot be enforced. It is a defeat for Governor Ron DeSantis, who says he will appeal. Right now, 10 Florida school boards, including Palm Beach and Indian River counties, have already voted to defy the governor's order and impose mask requirements.
Our Steve King is live for us tonight with what exactly today's ruling means for school districts, parents, as well as students going forward. Steve?
Felicia, well, Judge John Cooper made a few points before making his final ruling. Now, he said, unlike some of the defendant's expert witnesses, he believes the CDC that children wearing masks does slow the spread of the virus. He also went over some legal interpretations he has before making his ruling.
The judge focused on the Florida Parents' Bill of Rights, which the defendants used to argue school districts could not impose mask mandates.
It doesn't ban mask mandates at all. The Parents' Bill of Rights expressly gives governmental entities, school board's a governmental entity, to adopt policies concerning health care and education of children in school. That expressly they have the right to do that, even if those policies affect the parents' rights to make decisions in those areas.
The governor's office says the judge's ruling is not surprising and sent us a statement which reads in part, quote, "This ruling was made with incoherent justifications not based in science and facts, frankly not even remotely focused on the merits of the case presented. We will continue to defend the law and parents' rights in Florida and will immediately appeal the ruling to the First District Court of Appeals, where we are confident we will prevail on the merits of the case." Boca Raton mother Leslie Abravanel, one of the plaintiffs in the case, reacting to the judge's ruling today.
I'm elated. I am elated by this ruling because the judge clearly went on the side of science, medicine, and our children and democracy.
Palm Beach County School Board Vice Chair Karen Brill helped craft the school district's mask mandate, which went against the governor's executive order. She says the judge's ruling today does not change her feeling that the mask mandate was the right choice, given the rapid spread of the virus.
I really tried not to think about what we did as an affront to the governor. I really pushed that out of my mind, but there is relief. And just this morning, I spoke to someone who knows of a child in the district who is in the hospital now with COVID. So we have to do everything we can to prevent this from continuing.
Now, the judge's ruling is not in effect right now. The plaintiffs and defendants have been instructed to work together to craft a written order, which the judge would have to sign, and then at that point, the ruling would go into effect. This is expected to happen in the coming days. Reporting live in Palm Beach County, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.
Steve, thank you. Meanwhile, the superintendent of Palm Beach County Schools, Mike Burke, is pleased with today's ruling, saying this ruling seems to support the notion that boards have constitutional authority to ensure the health, safety, and welfare of students, and for now appears to prevent the governor from being able to impose bans on facial covering mandates.
The Florida Department of Education is reacting to the judge's ruling, saying in part, quote, "We are immensely disappointed. This decision conflicts with basic and established rights of parents to make private health care and education decisions for children. We will continue to fight to make sure every child has access to education. We are committed to the fundamental rights of parents and will push forward on appeal to ensure that this foundation of democracy is upheld."